Happy Blogtober Day 13. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a requested video. Thank you for requesting. You know who you are. I wish I could shout you guys out, but I know a lot of people don't like to be shouted out, so I'm going to respect that, but just let me shout y'all out, bro. Y'all like my friends, like, come on. But anyways, we're going to be talking about this situation between Brandy and Wanya Morris. So without further ado, like and subscribe, become part of the crazy conspiracy team. Turn on your bell post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video. So without further ado, let's get it. Brandy was once in a love triangle with Boyz II Men's Wanya Morris and another R&B artist. During the mid-90s, Brandy was in an intense secret relationship with Boyz II Men's Wanya Morris. Though their romance started out on a high note, it eventually came to a less than perfect end due to lies, deceit, and a messy love triangle. Brandy fell in love with Wanya Morris at the age of 15. 1994 was a year of firsts for Brandy. Not only did she release her debut album, Brandy, that sold over 6 million copies worldwide, she also fell in love for the very first time. At just 15 years old, Brandy had developed strong feelings for Boyz II Men's Wanya Morris, who's 6 years her senior, after he invited her to an opening act on the group's 1995 national tour. Though she was hesitant to express her feelings for him at first, the actress eventually drew up the courage to tell Morris how she felt. "I just told him that I loved him and thanked him for making me feel the way I feel because I have never felt that way before," she recalled during a 2012 episode of VH1's Behind the Music. "He was just like, wow." The relationship took a transition and we became a couple. I was on a high. It was love. It was real love. The broken-hearted collaborators carried on an intense relationship for 2 years, but kept their romance hidden from prying eyes due to Brandy's budding career. "Immediately, everything was about my career," the sitting up in my room singer explained. "What are you teaching young girls? Do they fall in love at a young age? Is that wrong? Is that a sin? It just made me feel like I was all by myself and that whatever I'm feeling personally is going to have to put me to the side." Wanya Morris broke off the relationship. Just 1 month shy of her 19th birthday, Morris called it quits from Brandy due to him falling in love with someone else. Since the Boyz II Men singer was her first love, the Moesha star was devastated by the breakup and recalled feeling crushed when he left her. "He fell in love with someone else. The worst feeling is to be in love all by yourself. That feels effed up, honestly," Brandy said. "It does, and that's the only way I can really put it. It felt like somebody had completely taken my heart out of my body and just crushed it." Adina Howard started dating Wanya Morris while he was still with Brandy. While Morris was still dating Brandy, he began hanging out with singer Adina Howard, who rose to fame in the mid-1990s with her debut album, Do You Wanna Ride, and her debut single, Freak Like Me. During a 2019 appearance on TV1's Unsung, Howard revealed that she and the Grammy winner had a thing going on while she was working on her second album, Welcome to Fantasy Island. The relationship eventually sparked an alleged feud between Brandy and Howard, who were both signed to Atlantic Records at the time, and began causing drama in the workplace. Two young ladies, a lot of their egos get in the way, and were kind of going through it about a guy, Howard recalled. The love triangle eventually reached the ears of label executive Sylvia Rome, who reportedly told Howard to focus on her music and not her relationship with Morris. Soon, media maven Wendy Williams caught wind of the scandal and gave Howard a call. During their conversation, the singer shared some choice words about Ron and Brandy, which did not sit well with the label exec. As a result, Howard's release date for her second album was delayed indefinitely. "I said something very inappropriate about the head of the label and she pulled up the emergency brake and shut everything down," the singer recalled. "And rightfully so, because when you have the power to do that and you don't like what people are saying about you, yeah." Now, before I get into my commentary, I just want to say that in 1994, Wanya Morris was 21 years old and Brandy in 1994 was 15. So he was 6 years older than her, which is really sad and pitiful, and I can't believe no one caught on to this. I'm pretty sure the other members had to peep this, and it's just sad how so many artists who you never thought would even be a part of such pittiness would do this. And I actually listened to a few songs by Boyz II Men, and it's sad to see that one of the members was dating an underage person. And I know in the article that it said that they kept it a secret, but someone had to know. Like, I personally feel like it's really evident when it comes to things like this. It's not hard to tell when someone has something going on and they're trying to hide it. I thought that Brandy was like this perfect little teenager that everybody pinned her out to be, but she actually has another scandal, if you will, where they said that she got married at a young age because she got pregnant by a guy she only knew for a short amount of time. And then they turned around and said that she wasn't even actually married. She only said that to paint this perfect image for herself because she was young and pregnant. And I just feel like she is such a hypocrite, you know? And I say this because I don't mean to bring Aaliyah up in this video, but she always has something negative to say about Aaliyah. She was saying how Aaliyah's mother didn't want her dressing like the way she did, and this and that. Like, I even heard that Brandy dissed Aaliyah on stage and was jealous of Aaliyah, was trying to, you know, argue. And when you really look at it, she has a lot of problems herself. And I'm glad that the person who requested this video brought this to my attention, because I did not know that Brandy was underage dating someone, and especially not anyone from Boyz II Men. And it's just sad that we have to discover these harsh stories on people who we listen to and appreciate for their music. It's really sad. And I mean, like, I know it shouldn't come to a shock to me, because that's what the industry is filled with pedos, and it shouldn't be anything new. And these stories about these men dating older women or hanging out with kids, being friends with underage people, is just weird. I don't understand it. I will never understand it. Why, out of all things, they want to be pedos? I don't understand. Out of anything, they choose to want to be attracted to young people. And some people in the industry take it lower than just 15, 14, 13. It's lower than that, and it's sad. Like, it's really, really sad, and this just needs to be put to an end. The industry should be no more, because there's not good intentions when it comes to that. And like I said, Beyonce's name was on the Jeffrey Epstein list, and I heard that Jeffrey Epstein takes younger kids there and hold them hostage, underage teenagers, girl teenagers and boys, and he invites very powerful people there, and they're on his list. Like, it's just sick. Who would want to hurt a child, an underage child? Out of all the people who are of age, they decide to take a vulnerable child. You know, 17 and down is off the limits, okay? And personally, in my opinion, 19 and down is off limits until they're 20 or at least 21. But 17 and down, that's disgusting. Like, especially if you're in your mid 20s, or the child is in their mid teens and you're in your mid 20s and late 20s, even 30s. Like, I would really like to know who even came up with this. And this goes back to like the black and white picture days. Like, I think Charlie Chaplin, he was one. He married like a 15-year-old, I believe. It's a video, I'll react to it, but it went on back then, far back then, and it's just sad that it's still continuing. I mean, they let these artists get away with it until these artists step out of line. And then as soon as they step out of line, they can use this against them, and it shouldn't have to take that to expose them, you know? But I'm glad that more people are becoming aware of what's going on in this filthy industry and what these grown men have in their minds. And it's sickening. Like, Brandy's mom was speaking so highly of her, and how she was saying how she would never let her daughter go outside showing her midriff or I think that's what it's called, her stomach. And I'm like, your daughter was in a relationship with a man, a grown man, and she was 15. Bet you didn't know that. Or maybe she did. And it's just crazy because, like I said, everyone made Brandy seem like this just innocent girl when she really wasn't. You know, her mom is full of crap. Brandy herself is full of crap, and it's inappropriate. And clearly her mother didn't raise her correctly for her to be even falling in love, having it in her mind that she's in love with the older man. That should not be going through a 15-year-old's mind. See, when I was 15, I was like, he either has to be my age or older than me, like 16, but not no 20-year-old man. I never had that in my mind to fall in love with an older man. I would never ever have that in my mind, and 15-year-olds know better. I was a very smart 15-year-old, and there's even more smarter 15-year-olds than I was, and they know better. They know better than to be having a crush on men that's old enough to be their big brother. Like, no, that's unacceptable. It kind of really shows how these parents raise their kids. You know, apparently they see it from their parents or whoever they're around, and they think that it's okay to do it. And it's kind of like the Aaliyah situation, but I am very shocked at this bit of information. I can't believe that Brandy was one kid to have been in a relationship with a grown man. And he wasn't that old, but still old enough for her because she's underage. The law would not put up with that at all if they knew. That is against the law. I don't care how cute you think it is. It's always going to be against the law, which I'm glad it is. It's sad. 6 years older than her? Really? Like, out of every woman they could choose, they choose underage girls. And you want to know something else? In this article, they said that he left her for another woman. And you know what? It's probably because those men aren't into young girls. They just want to satisfy their sexual needs, and then as soon as they find someone who can replace that sexual need, then they leave those kids behind. And it's kind of like the situation with R. Kelly. He never really loved Aaliyah. He went off 2 days after they got married and sexually assaulted a 17-year-old. And then you have Brandy in a relationship with Wanya Morris, and they were in a 2-year relationship, and then he turns around and finds someone else and leaves her in the dust. Like, they don't want these young kids. What can they possibly do with these young kids? SEX. I also want to mention this song by Brandy called Broken Hearted, and I'm just gonna read the lyrics to you guys. Anyways, the first line just says, "I'm young, but I'm wise, enough to know that you don't fall in love overnight. That's why I thought if I took my time that everything in love would be right. But as soon as I closed my eyes, I was saying to love goodbye." So as you can see, she says I'm young and wise. She knew she was young. You guys, this song right off the bat just tells you that this is about her and Wanya Morris. And it's funny because I believe this song is from 1994, and that's just really insane. This is around the time she was dating him. But anyways, it also says, "But I guess I'm lonely, broken hearted. Life's not over. I can start again while I'm lonely, broken hearted. It's a hurting thing to get over. No more empty conversation. Next time I will be totally sure. Don't want the pain of falling in love and out of love. It's more than my poor heart should endure. So I listen to all the advice and remember each time I cry." So as you can see, this is a very short song. It's very evident she's talking about how she's young, and it's kind of, like I said, I don't mean to bring Aaliyah up, but like Aaliyah's song Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. I feel like that was about her and R. Kelly, and I'm pretty sure it was, you know, because it was around the time they were together, and they just throw it right in our faces. And people always run to the songs being just songs, you know, and they don't have meaning to them. But that's where you guys are wrong. And if you were smart, you would know that songs have meanings to them. That's how they, especially when it comes to like singers, that's how they get their point across. You know, it's easy for them to throw their feelings on a track. But I personally believe that this song is about their breakup. So yeah. The world will never heal, and I just feel bad for any underage kid who had to go through this. The industry is no place for an underage kid. But anyways, that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that this video meets your expectations. You know who you are. But anyways, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Become part of the Crazy Conspiracy team, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. I was drowning in our lives. I know we're broken up. You know the feelings deep inside. So what's you? What we've been through?